this year I we go to a school, like we go to daycare, and because we're not old enough to go to real school yet.
Yeah. But like daycare was.
Wait, that's yours? Where's my bear? Oh, my bear's upstairs. And we use stuffies.
Hey guys, how's it going today? Before I jumped on here, I was sharing in my stories that I wasn't really feeling that great today. I've been having a bit of a mixed up week, but I've been trying to pull a hold of things that make me feel good. I know what I can trust, and that is my Bible study, the Word of God. Working out is good for my mental health, getting outside or talking to my sisters or things like that, right? So the routine this morning was a little bit off from what we normally do. The kids woke up really early, so we just played and like did a little bit of learning. If you guys don't know, we're doing homeschool this year, so I really appreciate the flexibility that I have with homeschool. And so anyways, we can kind of do school whenever it works for us. So we did a little bit of reading and math games this morning, and then I did my workout later. And so while I was doing my workout, I was thinking about a conversation that I had with a friend last night, somebody that I was talking about joining my coaching team, Beachbody coaching team, and I think she would be a really great coach. And she shared with me that she was worried that, well, two things. She's been a part of Beachbody for a long time, and she's had experiences with coaches where they don't deliver.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Mommy,
Hi. Yeah.
Can you wash my shoes?
Yes, so you can have indoor shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I can do that today.
Today?
Yeah, not right this second.
Can you tell me how to wash them?
Nope, I'll do it for you when I'm done.
Just this?
Yeah, doing this.
Okay, and then can you wash?
Sure. Yep.
Papa, you're my big brother.
So we were talking about
You forget the way.
how her experience has been sometimes with coaches that they kind of go like MIA, somebody falls off track and they can't keep their team on track, they can't keep their community on track. And I part of me was afraid to say like, I don't give up, I'm not going anywhere. And then another part of me was like, but that's who I am. But on the other side of that, I'm not perfect. I don't show up perfectly every day. I am learning though what I am learning. I have had this amazing message consistently on my heart and mind. Master the mundane. There is power in the mundane. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency, to me, what I am learning is it's showing up in spite of the massive imperfection that is taking place around me every day right now. And so what I want to say to anyone who is, and this is just, so I made notes while I was doing my workout, because working out is just, it like I'm pregnant, I'm not trying to lose weight, guys. I do think about labor, and my goal is that all of my workout stuff is going to help me to have a really strong, powerful, awesome labor. So that's where, wellness with my body is right now. But like, for me on this journey this time around, because it's been a part of my life since I was in high school, before I used to be so focused on something like an image that I was trying to create, it is just beyond that for me right now in terms of mental health. And so I don't give up. I'm learning how to show up consistently and lead others and not be perfect at it, be humble, share my mistakes, share my messes, be in the mess with other people, because that's real life, right? If it's not realistic for you to work out 5 days a week, that's okay. You find what works for you. And I think so often as a society, we want to be like 5 days a week, eating all of this, doing all of this. And it's like, that's so not realistic for some people. Like everything takes time, right? So I was writing some notes. I just kind of want to share like randomly. I'd rather show up every day and offer the smallest thing that I have, and ask God to multiply that and trust him to multiply that, just like he did when he turned the basket of fish and the loaf of bread, and he fed I love to think he fed like thousands of people. I don't remember the exact number, but if you've read that story before, you know that story. God can take the tiniest things that we have if we just show up and we just go, here's all I have, God. Like, this is all I have. Me by myself, I cannot multiply this, but I know that God can. And so that is my mindset when I show up on days like today, when I'm just, honestly, I'm having a really hard week this week. Guys, I'm struggling with a lot of different mixed up emotions, but I'd rather show up and give that little bit than be like, curl up into a ball and just not try, right? And so I just offer that with faith to God. Okay, God, this is what I've got today. I need you to multiply that. I need you to do the rest. And I'm not going back. I'm not going backwards. I'm not going back to. I have this like sense of moving forward. No task is beneath me. I have been in leadership roles before where I'll admit it. I experienced my power and my high from like putting other people down. And I have learned that that is no way to lead. We have to lead by example. No task is beneath me. I cannot ask anyone else to do something that I myself would not do. And so that is how I lead in my home with my children, and that is how I lead in my businesses. And I see purpose in it all. Being a stay-at-home mom has really taught me that there is purpose in me getting laundry into the drawers. That blesses my whole family. It makes everything, and that's just an example. So I see purpose in everything. Everything has purpose. And I'm so grateful for that, because right now stuff is mundane. It's like Groundhog Day, but there's got to be purpose in the season. There's got to be purpose in the daily, right? And I believe that God promotes that. I was listening to this amazing sermon the other day, and they were talking about King David. And if you guys know who King David is in the Bible, he started as a shepherd, which was a very, very lowly career, and it wasn't renowned, and he became a king. But because God saw the way he tended his sheep, God promoted him. We think about interns coming into a company. If an intern comes into a company and he can't get the coffee order right, how is the intern going to get promoted to anything else? Silly intern for not thinking that the coffee order is so extremely important. So the mundane, if we want promotion, I'm realizing if I want promotion in my life, then I need to do what I have in my hands right now. Little people, the things that are around me, I need to do that really well if I want to get promoted. And showing up every day, I do want to say that I don't want it to be misunderstood for bulldoze and bury, because I used to operate like that. I used to bulldoze emotions, bulldoze everything, shove it down. Don't pay attention to it, and I would bury it. And then I would have a meltdown twice a year and be out of commission for like a week, because I was just so overwhelmed with all this stuff that I wasn't working through. So I'm not talking about showing up every day and being fake. I'm not talking about showing up every day and shoving what's actually happening inside of me. What I'm talking about is showing up and just offering what I have, but still trying to work through it. And then the other discipline piece of that, so it takes discipline to show up, but the other discipline piece that I'm becoming very comfortable with is disciplining myself to rest, right? And that's where I personally don't love the term hustle. I don't love that. I rest. Rest is a priority. Rest allows me to move into the next week. I'm able to rest on the weekends. That's how my schedule goes. But if that doesn't work for you, obviously, you find rest when you can experience rest. And if that's Wednesdays, then that's great, or Wednesday, Thursday. But rest requires discipline sometimes, because I think I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. No, rest allows me to move forward in a more healthy, powerful way. And so I need to rest. And, I bring this this journey that I'm on with Beachbody, with homeschool, with all of the things that I have, blessings and responsibilities that I have going on in my life right now. This isn't about, working out for me. It's about living with purpose. It's about living on purpose. It's about living awake. I am awake. It's uncomfortable to be awake and aware, because you have to, when you're not bulldozing and shoving emotions, you got to sit with them and you got to figure them out and you got to find out where they came from. And then you got to think, it's like, how they say, like, once you know, you can't unknow. It's like, once you come face to face with something and you're like, okay, yep, I'm feeling like that. It's not good. It's not comfortable. Okay, what am I going to do about it, right? And so that can be really uncomfortable sometimes, but I'm living awake and I'm living on purpose. I'm finding purpose. I'm seeking purpose in everything, and I'm not going anywhere, right? So, and I want to, with my Beachbody journey, whether it be a client or a coach team that I'm building.
Mommy,
Yes.
can you be our mom in the game, but you're just over here working?
That's perfect, because that's what I'm doing and that's what I am.
You work, Mommy.
Yeah. So it's working out well. That works out well for everyone. I want to help others do the same. I want to help others do the same because this has been like such a long journey, years and years for me. And I never want to stop this journey either. I have no thought that I'm going to get to a point where I'm like, yeah, I got it all figured out. I had this amazing realization when, let's say with my businesses, when I reach a point where I have achieved all of my business goals, or like I've achieved a lot of business goals, I'm still going to do all the stuff I do right now. I can't stop doing that just because, I've achieved some goal. You got to keep doing it. I want to keep growing as an individual, as a person, and learning about how to live with purpose, always living with purpose and developing myself. And so I'm really passionate about that. So back to the beginning of where this kind of all started is that conversation that I was having with a friend about Beachbody and coaching and what I can offer to people to join my team, whether it be as a client or as a coach. I don't give up, guys. I'm not going to give up. Am I going to show up perfectly every day? Nope. Am I going to get it wrong? Yes. Am I going to fail trying? 100%. But am I going to give up? No. And I'm not going anywhere, right? And so that is what I can offer. I'm not perfect, but I like trying to live with purpose, to live well. And I like doing life with God. I like handing things, I like to see how he multiplies. I like to see how what I put in his hands, he can multiply. That amazes me. It takes great faith, which faith is uncomfortable when you're in the middle of it, when you're in that place where you're just gotta trust. It's so uncomfortable, but on the other side, there's so much wisdom and beauty, and the faith is strengthened to keep going forward. The other things that I wrote down from that Stephen Furtick sermon the other day, process reveals potential. So when we go back to talking about King David tending the sheep, God saw, he followed the process. He saw his potential in David. And so David was promoted. Process reveals potential. And that's not mine. It's Stephen Furtick's. Give yourself to the process. Allow yourself to be in the process. Allow yourself to be in the process imperfectly. I think that will always be rewarded. Nobody's perfect. I can't be perfect. It would be so exhausting to try to be perfect. But when I can just show up and give what I have and say, okay, God, here you go. This is all I've got today. I need you to fill in the blanks here. Help me get through the day. He will promote that. I had also just written humility. And the other thing that Stephen said that I wrote down that I was like, that's so powerful. Potential that sits is poison. And I've been there. When I talk about where, so let me say that again. Potential that sits is poison. So when I talk about the time in my life when I would bulldoze and bury feelings, emotions, and hide and tap out, instead of trying to show up while feeling all the feelings. There was a time in my life where I was just like, can't do it, bulldoze, bury, and then move on and forget about it and shove stuff out of the way. That's when for me, that came out in a really bad way with eating disorders and anxiety and drinking. I shoved, I escaped, I suppressed a lot of things, and I will never go back there. God has healed me from a lot of those. He's healed me from all of those things that I just named. But that's how that resurfaced when I tried to bulldoze and bury stuff. It came out in a really negative. And when he said potential that sits is poison, the thing is, I knew my potential in that time when I was bulldozing and burying things. I knew my potential. I felt that I was special. And that might sound kind of crazy. I feel like a special person. I feel like I don't fit in a lot of the time. And I have become fully grateful for that, because God sets us apart. He calls us to special things and he sets us apart. And so potential that sits is poison. That was my poison. The enemy was telling me lies about who I was, what I could handle, what I was capable of, what my past predicted my future would be. Wrong. And now, with the help of God, I am able to, in the middle of all the weird emotions, hard stress, because I'm not feeling like myself right now, I'm feeling mixed up, I can still show up. It's not perfectly. I'm not going to accomplish everything I normally would be able to accomplish today, but I'm able to show up with God and offer him what I have. Avoid the poison from ignoring the potential that the process reveals. And so I offer myself to God, I offer what I have to God, and I offer myself to the process. So for anyone who is thinking about, going after your own thing for yourself, or joining me on this Beachbody journey, but you've seen people come and go and you're this and that, I'm not that person. I don't give up. I am not perfect, but I will be here. Have a great day, guys.